invest in Kenya. Embu County residents to benefit with free treatment of chronic illnesses from sponsorship by the county government. And 4 suspects arrested in Kiambu County for terrorizing business persons and the killing of a security guard in Juja.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Odida.
That's right, Sami Okello is our sign language interpreter. Tonight we are live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Odida. The hashtag is Money Monday. Let's get started. Now, President William Ruto has chaired the opening session of the second retreat for members of the cabinet and senior ranks of the executive in Naivasha, Nakuru County. The retreat is aimed to evaluate on the accomplishments of the Kenya Kwanza administration since coming into power. President Ruto has called on legislatures to take part in governing the country instead of criticizing the government. Odhiambo Vivian has that report.
President William Ruto has officially opened the National Executive Retreat and Parliamentary Group Consultative Meeting today in Naivasha. The retreat was attended by cabinet secretaries and top officials in both the executive and legislature. President William Ruto appreciated the cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries' efforts in implementing his manifesto. Terming himself as a proud leader, Ruto stated that the Kenya Kwanza regime has a historic opportunity to transform the country, urging the government officials to implement agendas to avoid lagging behind time.
I want to appreciate the input, the contribution of each and every one of us to the place where we are today. I want to remind you, friends, that we have a historic opportunity to change our country.
The president mentioned that one of the biggest achievements the Kenya Kwanza government has had is matters dealing with food security, highlighting that the government has the ability to deal with climate change and ensuring that subsidized fertilizer are rolled out to farmers.
I must say from the beginning that I am a very proud leader of this team.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on his part applauded the cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries for creating time to discuss the nation's performance. Rigathi has urged the ministers to take charge and engage elected leaders in order to ensure Ruto's manifesto are put into practice.
I want to thank our members in both houses for the support and the commitment in making sure that our legislative agenda carries the day in Parliament. Sometimes it becomes very difficult for us to work because our ministers are perpetually in the House in different committees. I think Your Excellency will request a meeting with the leadership so that we agree on how to balance between ministers appearing in Parliament to answer questions and also be available to serve.
The retreat, according to President Ruto, will be done every year in an aim to track the achievements made by the government and whether they are reflecting its manifesto. Odhiambo Vivian, KUTV.
President William Ruto has urged Canadian investors to take advantage of Kenya's diverse investment opportunities during the Canada-Africa Forum held earlier today here in Nairobi. Ruto was represented by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi. In his speech, called on stakeholders to explore new frontiers to diversify export-based investments in areas like sustainable agriculture and clean energy. Listen in.
During the second day of Canada-Africa Business Conference at Serena Hotel here in Nairobi earlier today, President William Ruto, represented by Prime Cabinet Secretary who is the CS for Foreign Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, called for business collaboration between Kenya and Canadian investors. Ruto acknowledged that the critical relationship contributes to shared prosperity.
Today marks a significant milestone as we gather to strengthen the ties between our nations and explore new avenues strengthening our collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya presents a conducive business environment, having a strong democracy and business-friendly policies which are advantageous for potential investors.
Cabinet Secretary for Investment, Trade and Industry Rebecca Miano, on the other hand, expressed the government's commitment in supporting investors who intend to invest in Kenya.
It is very gratifying to witness steady progress in efforts geared towards expanding investment and commercial opportunities between Canada and Kenya. As the ministry in charge of private sector development, I assure you of all the ministry's support in facilitating and supporting the establishment of your investments.
According to Muninda Sidhu, who is a parliamentary secretary to the Minister of Export Promotion, International Trade and Economic Development in Canada, Kenya is a leader of trade and business opportunities, helping Africa's businesses thrive.
As the voice of Africa in the Ottawa Group, Kenya is ensuring that the rules-based multilateral trading system is equipped to address 21st century trade realities and help businesses, workers, and communities in Africa and around the world thrive. And I'll be clear here, a thriving Africa is important to Canada. In fact, Prime Minister Trudeau has made it a priority for our government and our ministry under the leadership of Minister Mary Ng, Canada's Minister of Export Promotion, International Trade and Economic Development, to develop a strategy for economic cooperation across Africa.
Besides, Sidhu explained that the government of Canada expects Canadian investors to participate in responsible businesses even as they invest in Kenya.
The government of Canada expects those companies to integrate responsible business practices throughout their operation, including in international supply chains. We expect this because we know that trust and confidence opens doors to even greater opportunities.
The clarion call for partnership between Kenya and Canada comes a week after President Ruto's trip to Japan that intended to diversify business opportunities between Kenya and Japan, especially in agriculture and production of clean energy. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
Now, the county government of Embu, in partnership with the U.S. non-governmental organization IHOPE, have organized a free medical camp at Embu Level 5 Hospital. The exercise is set to run up to the 24th of this month, bringing together a team of 48 specialist doctors and nurses from the organization who will offer a wide range of treatment, including surgeries for patients with chronic illnesses. Akida Kasim has that story.
Hundreds of residents in Embu County on Monday turned up for free medical camp organized by the county government of Embu in partnership with US-based NGO that aims to support the health system, especially patients who suffer chronic illness in the region.
Dawa nyingi sana. Kama uko na pain, kama unataka surgery, enda mlete majirani wote wakuja hapa wabele.
Speaking during the opening of the camp, Governor Cecily Mbarire lauded the team for volunteering to be part of the noble cause of alleviating sufferings of many patients unable to access treatment due to lack of finances. She further added that the exercise will help to boost the health sector in the county.
We found our health sector in a very dire state. We had a very, very big challenge of supplies, pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical products. We had challenges of staffing. We had challenges of management, amongst other challenges within the health sector.
Embu County Secretary Ami Ruria expressed optimism that many patients, both old and young, suffering different chronic illness, will be benefit and be able to live a normal life. The move is set to run up to 24th this month, brought together a team of 48 specialist doctors and nurses from the organization who will offer a wide range of treatment, including surgeries for patients with chronic illness.
It is my hope that this shall be an annual event, Your Excellency, and I'm looking forward to hearing powerful stories of survival and transformed lives. this time next year. We shall be back here, Amy, next year.
The team also donated assorted medical supplies worth 56 million shillings to the facility to improve healthcare provision. Akida Kasim, KUTV.
Moving on, 4 suspects have been arrested in Juja area of Kiambu County over theft cases and the murder of a security guard at an entertainment joint in Juja. According to police, these suspects were arrested hours after the attack at Midnight Gardens, where the guard was killed as he attempted to repass the armed gang. The gang is said to have terrorized business persons in the area for a while.
Police in Juja, Kiambu County have arrested 4 suspected robbers who reportedly killed a guard at newly established joint in Kimbo, Juja constituency. The criminals are said to have attacked the joint this early morning, armed with crude weapons such as carjack, hammers, machine used to cut padlocks, among many others. The suspected criminals arrived on a Noah whose number plate was reported fake. The vehicle was later used to park expensive alcohol that was stolen from the joint. The suspects reportedly switched off electricity at the joint before disconnecting the automatic generator, after which they tied the guard on duty with a rope before killing him using a power-enhanced metallic. According to the manager, the club had incurred a loss of about 3 million.
Nimekuja mebreak mlango wa mahali stima inawekwa na ameenda wamekata stima. Sasa wamejaribu nakata stima, unajua wakikata stima generator inawaka. Wanakata inawaka. Sasa ndio wameenda mpaka wamedisconnect mpaka generator. So watu wale mnikiangalia mmoja wao naona ni jamaa huaga anacheza puru hapa kwangu. So ni mmoja ni customer hapa, so ni watu ambao wanajua vile kitu wanafanya. Sasa nikiangalia naona jamaa mmoja kama nilikuwa nimemwona hapa usiku kabla nitoke. Alikuwa analanda ile masaa kulikuwa na ile mpira Manchester. Naona huyu jamaa mmoja nilikuwa nimemwona hapo.
Kiambu County Police Commander Michael Mushiri reported that the criminals have been causing tension in Kiambu County and that they have been looking for them for a while.
This vehicle that is right here with us has been seen a number of times. I talked about intelligence-led policing. So it's been followed through very, very closely. So we knew that we needed to leave them try to do their thing, but they were not aware that the police officers were crossing in on them.
The criminals were arrested after receiving a beating from the members of the public who were baying for their blood. Salma Swaleh reporting for KUTV.
Now, more than 100 underprivileged youths in Laikipia County whose parents cannot afford to enroll them in vocational training colleges have benefited from a groundbreaking virtual technical training program. Each student will receive 4,000 Kenyan shillings to buy basic tools at the start of each course, with those qualifying getting business startup loans of between 200,000 Kenyan shillings and 500,000 Kenyan shillings from KenSwed. Listen in.
A program known as M-Learning is an initiative of Kenyan retired athlete Isaac Masharia in partnership with KenSwed School of Ngong and a Swedish university professor P.O. Hansson, and will see students from off-grid areas use solar-powered tablets to study diverse vocational courses.
We are doing this digital, which means both digital, online and offline. We are using 2 devices, solar-powered device and an online ordinary tablet. We do vocational training courses. We do 50 different courses with a variety where the learners can select from. It's video-based, it's done by artificial intelligence, and it's practical, because with that skills, they can start business and entrepreneurship.
The beneficiaries will undertake theoretical learning in any of the 50 courses uploaded from the tablets, and their progress monitored frequently using artificial intelligence for 6 months before taking a trade grade exam done by Technical and Vocational Training Board. 24-year-old Hosea Warutere has not joined any of the local tertiary institution, but has benefited from the training program.
I joined KenSwed in last year, 2023, and the end of the year. There were many courses, but I decided to get in entrepreneurship and computer, because around here we need more activities that we can do by ourselves, and he's insisting on creating our own jobs. So I found out that if I do an entrepreneurship course, and mix it with the computer one, I can do something for myself.
20-year-old Zipora Wandia from Kihato village is one of the beneficiaries studying computer, cookery and agriculture, where she's already applying agricultural knowledge gained so far on her mother 1-acre piece of land through poultry rearing and growing various crops.
I didn't know anything concerning computers from my secondary school. I didn't know anything to do with the computers. Yeah, now I know how to open the computer, to use the computer a little bit. Yeah.
And why is that?
Yeah, you can, many things to use computers, and I didn't know anything, so literally I had to do computer. Yeah.
This program of M-Learning will enable many students from vulnerable families to enroll themselves in digital learning and apply skills learned to build themselves, hence create channels to other less fortunate people in the society. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
All right, we are taking a very fast short break at this point. We are coming back with an interview. Stay with us. From the farm to the consumer, we explore agribusiness opportunities right here with you.
Changamoto lingine ni soko. Soko saa ingine bei inashuka tu drastic, kama saa hii hoho imeshuka chini.
On Money Monday, we explore business stories and engage business professionals as reference points for analyzing investment opportunities.
Last year, the economy grew by 4.8%. And which is really an indication of the resilience of the economy.
If we don't grow the economy, then we cannot have economic transformation.
We shall bring you up to speed with everything taking center stage in the business world and the state of the nation. Join me and Odida every Sunday and Monday for captivating, entertaining and informative stories at 9 p.m.
Kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
Kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo Power si vuguvugu. Pepo Power ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Power is transient, that at this point it's them who are powerful. In the next time, the next term, it will be them who are actually begging the courts to protect their rights. Yes.
You mentioned something that I would really love for you to elaborate on. When you say banana republic, what does that really mean?
It's a republic that is characterized by chaos.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
To the consumer, we explore agribusiness opportunities right here with you.
Changamoto lingine ni soko. Soko saa ingine bei inashuka tu drastic, kama saa hii hoho imeshuka chini.
On Money Monday, we explore business stories and engage business professionals as reference points for analyzing investment opportunities.
Last year, the economy grew by 4.8%, and which is really an indication of the resilience of the economy.
If we don't grow the economy, then we cannot have economic transformation.
We shall bring you up to speed with everything taking center stage in the business world and the state of the nation. Join me and Odida every Sunday and Monday for captivating, entertaining, and informative stories at 9 p.m.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Odida.
Welcome back to the broadcast. You're watching KUTV Primetime News, and if you're just joining us, we are live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. We are also very active on X. Remember to interact with us on there. It's time for a discussion of the night, and now in the dynamic landscape of financial planning, the discourse surrounding employer-employee savings and pensions holds a significant importance, particularly in the Kenyan context. Now tonight, our guest, Anne Muthoni Njeru, is a saving and pension advisor. We want to talk about this savings and planning for retirement, in this case in the Kenyan context. Of course, karibu sana and to KUTV.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Tell us about what you do as a savings and pensions advisor.
Savings and pensions advisor, I advise people on the importance of putting some money aside for a rainy day. As shilling saved is a shilling hand. Yes. So
just as we get started now, take us through the overview of the pension system in Kenya.
Pension system in Kenya is not very well established. It's kind of, people are forced into savings for their pension. If an employer is not running a pension, then most people are not very keen on starting their own pension schemes. You can start out your own individual pension plan if you're not in an employment setup. Though most employers already have, most of them have pension savings for their employees. Yes.
So should every organization have its own pension scheme?
It is not a must that they have. It is according to their own prerogative that they have a savings scheme for their employees for retirement, but individuals should be very keen to start their own pension schemes if the employer doesn't have one in place. Yes.
How do we start one for somebody who's just starting off? How do they now come up with their own pension scheme?
Yeah, most of these individual pension plans are run by insurance companies, so one is able to buy one with an insurance company. Yes, an individual one. Yeah, even an employer doesn't have one in place for them. Yes.
So from your own perspective as somebody who's been in this field, the pension and the savings scheme, which one is the most effective one for somebody to start off with?
You start, okay, once you get employed, you're supposed to, any kind of saving, it doesn't really matter whether it's a pension or whatever form of saving it is. Whatever money you put aside can be used for retirement. It really doesn't matter whether it is from a pension scheme or an individual savings plan any other way. Yes.
So we do have mandatory pension schemes, and we also have voluntary pension schemes. Now, how do mandatory saving schemes like the NSSF, for instance, impact employees and employers?
NSSF is quite meager. You can remember that we have been having employers and employees required only to put aside 200 shillings per month. That is very insufficient. And again, also NSSF is a provident fund where a lump sum is paid to an employee once they retire. And sometimes when you get a lump sum, it may not be quite sufficient, or you may not be very diligent enough to be able to use this money to your old age, to your entire old age. Maybe you're given something like 1 million and maybe you're living for the next 30 years. It may not be quite sufficient for your retirement. Yes.
So what are these voluntary, in Kenya right now, what are the voluntary pension schemes that you have come across?
Okay, you can use so many avenues to get enough money for your pension. You can use even life insurance schemes, policies, to be able to collect money enough for you for retirement. It's not a must that you get into an individual a pension scheme. You can use other avenues to collect money for that purpose. Yes.
Now, tell us about the regulations that are governing the management and investment of pension funds, now to ensure transparency and also security for contributors.
Okay, we have a governing body that is RBA, Retirement Benefits Authority, that is really keen on how these monies are invested, and the people who are investing, or the insurance companies that are investing this money, are really highly regulated. So someone's money is quite safe for their retirement. There's no way that money can just disappear like that. It is quite highly governed. Yes.
So I'll still ask you this. You've dealt with you've advised people who are in the employment space. So maybe you can also tell us how these pension funds are managed and invested in the Kenyan context. Now that you've also mentioned RBI, retirement, RBA. Yes, now tell us about how these pension funds are managed and invested in Kenya.
Okay, mostly the pension funds are invested in the government paper because that's where the highest security is. And other areas, we have got the Nairobi Stock Exchange. We buy stock. The money can be used to buy stock, so that the pensioners can get return for their money. There are also some pension funds that go even ahead into real estate to ensure that the pensioners are getting return for their money by the time they are retiring. Yes.
While we were starting, you mentioned something about the pension system in Kenya is not quite effective. So what are the challenges that are facing the pension sector in Kenya, particularly concerning the employer and employee setting?
Yeah, well, most Kenyans are not really very keen on savings. Any rise into a savings scheme, you see the way they are, is an upload. They are putting our money aside. We don't want that. So not very many people are keen onto the savings scheme. So they are not even schooled so much as to why they need to save for their pension. Yes.
When we're talking about savings, how can someone start? Let's talk about somebody earning 10,000 Kenyan shillings. You are encouraging savings for retirement, saving for your pension, saving for yourself. How can this person earning this 10,000 Kenyan shillings divide this money, still enjoy themselves, but also cater for their basic needs?
Yeah, well, when it comes to your income, you're supposed to use the 50, 20, 30 rule of your income, whatever income you're getting. So when you're doing the 50% of your income is supposed to go to your mandatory expenses like the house rent, the food, and all that. Then the 20% is mandatory that it goes to a savings scheme. Then 30% is for the unforeseen and other uses. So 20% must go somewhere, regardless of how much money you're saving. You are supposed to live within your means of how much you're earning to at least accommodate yourself within the 50, 20, 30 rule. Yes.
Now, are there any emerging trends or opportunities that could enhance the pension provision and retirement in Kenya?
Yes, we have got insurance companies coming up with quite friendly schemes that can enable one to start one on their own instead of going through an employer, without going through an employer. Even people who are self-employed should be in pension scheme. It's so easy nowadays. Yes.
So why is it so important for both employees and employers to invest in this pension scheme?
Okay, for employers, it is a way of retaining good talent. But for employees, it is a must that they invest into a pension scheme because you work up to when you're 60 years old. Then maybe you're going to live for another 30 years without you working. What will you live on that particular time when you are not, when your body is not able to generate income for you, for your survival?
Tell us about the long-term benefits of having a robust pension system for an individual and maybe now as an economy, to the economy as well.
Yeah, to the economy, it is good that we have good pension scheme because once people get that age of retirement, the government will not come in to try and what can I say? The government will not come in to give them an income to live on. They already have enough pension, enough money for their survival. The other thing is that this money is also put into the economy. It is borrowed by the government, like the way I said about the government paper. Government can borrow this money to use for their development. Yeah.
So tell us what measures can be taken to ensure sustainability and adequacy of pension schemes in Kenya amidst now we have tough economic conditions. So what measures can be taken to ensure sustainability and adequacy of pension schemes?
Yeah, the economy will continue being like that. I don't remember a time when there was a lot of money. People saying that now there's a lot of money, there's enough, and again there's a lot of money in circulation that we need to put away. And nobody guarantees even tomorrow it will be better. So unless individuals are very deliberate on savings towards their pension, it will never be better any time. Yes, people must be very deliberate. Yes.
So is there any benefit of an employer facilitating a pension scheme for their employee?
Apart from the retention of good talent, I don't think there's any other. Yes. Yes.
So you recommend for an employee to start off saving for themselves, for their retirement by themselves?
Yes, and again, sometimes the employers give a certain percentage, like maybe 5%, 10%, which is still very insufficient to take them through their retirement. So an employee also should get something on the side to supplement that. Yes.
So for these employees that already have a pension scheme and are permanently employed workers, and these workers are pensionable, how do these employees typically set and manage pension providers for their workforce?
Come again?
How do employees typically select and manage pension providers for their workforce? How do they come up with these the providers for their workforce?
Okay, usually employees have they normally elect trustees. The trustees are the one who normally shop around for the providers, for the people who are going to manage their pension. Yes.
So
that is the employees. That's what the employees does. Yes.
So how effective is this? Really?
The trustees usually when they're elected, they are normally taken through a training on pension, so they are aware on now the trends are in the market. Yes.
And tell us about now these savings schemes that are mostly effective for somebody who is starting off. Apart from now you mentioned insurance, what other savings schemes can someone tap into?
Savings scheme, we also have a very nice savings scheme with the banks also. Yes, the bank, there are some accounts that the banks are running that you are not able to access your money easily. You are being saved from yourself. So there are those kind of accounts where you can still save your money, and especially for emergencies. Yeah, we have the savings should be in 3 phases. The first one should be a very short term one, maybe through your bank. The second one should be mid-term, that is through the SACCO, and then long term is through the insurance policies. Yes.
And we have a question here for you. How does an institution save for the employer through pension planning?
Yes, usually institutions can establish pension schemes with insurance companies. Then they start putting aside money for usually a percentage or even an amount depending on what the company wants. Yes.
So how does this affect the pay slip for employees, and what are its benefits?
It affects the pay slip in that there's an amount that is going to come out from that pay slip, but the advantage is there's free money from the employer. Whatever the employer is going to match is like free money for you. Yes.
Let's come back now to savings. What's your take on money market funds? Between SACCOs, you've not mentioned anything about SACCOs, by the way.
Yes.
So what's your view on money market funds, SACCOs, and insurance? Which one is more effective?
So what I said, all of them are very effective because they play different roles. You need to establish an emergency fund with a bank account, with a bank, because that is you can be able to withdraw very fast. Then the SACCO is mid-term, where you can use that money for your self-development. So SACCOs are encouraged for mid-term goals. But long-term goals, that is the future known, future unknown. Like old age is inevitable. That's why you need to take an insurance policy for long-term. So the three, all of them are good. And that's why when I was talking about the 20, 50, 30, the 10% should go to a long-term savings plan, like an insurance policy. Then the 10% that remains should be invested in a shorter term, mid-term.
How is the interest rate between an insurance and SACCO and money market funds? Which one is better between the three?
Yeah, when we are looking at insurance, we don't look at the interest. Mostly we look at the cushion it is giving you. Like, if you're earning 100,000, at least you need to be cushioned, because there's a life already you're accustomed to. You need to maintain that lifestyle regardless of what. So we don't count insurance as a form of investment. But the SACCO, there's some SACCOs that are offering quite good interest, 10%, 12%, 8%, which is quite good at dividend. And then there are also some banks that are offering good returns, 6%, 8%. Yeah.
So
the fixed account one.
As we wind up, is pension planning the only effective way for savings for an individual?
Not really, but what I would say is that people should be very keen on their pension. And why is this? There was a survey that was carried. Out of 100 people start working at the age of 22. By the time they are retiring, 1 will be wealthy, 4 will be having some money somewhere, 15 will have some little money for basics, but 80 people, will be struggling into retirement. They'll have nothing saved for their retirement. They'll be either dead or still in employment even after retirement to sustain their livelihood. So that is why someone should be very keen with the pension. Where do you want yourself to be at that time when your body cannot have the ability to continue working and earning money through working?
So if 80 people out of 100 are not in a savings scheme,
are not really keen to their pension or save for their pension, or they are not even in a pension scheme.
What can be done to tell these people how important it is to have a savings scheme or a pension scheme? What can be done?
We really need to talk to people. We really need to educate people, and I think that is why I'm here, to try and reach as many people as possible, because it is really becoming a disaster. Yes.
So just a parting shot as we finish the interview. That is your camera, Anne.
Yeah. What I can tell people is that as you're working today, make sure that you're putting something aside for a rainy day, for a tomorrow when you are not able to ever work again. Please don't wait to depend financially on your children. You can do it for yourself. Yes.
Thank you so much, Anne Muthoni, for making time for us. Anne is a savings and pension advisor. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Anne, for having me.
All right. We are taking a very second break right at this point. We are coming back with more, so stay with us.
My name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday, we ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Odida.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching KUTV Primetime News. Now, Israel's cabinet said Sunday that it rejects the unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state. The news came amidst growing calls by the United States and other countries for a two-state solution as the Middle East conflict worsens. VOA's Veronica Balderas has the details.
Israel's cabinet Sunday approved a so-called declaratory decision that opposes the unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state. The measure was brought to a vote by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Israel categorically rejects international edicts on a permanent arrangement with the Palestinians. Such an arrangement will be achieved only through direct negotiations between the sides. Recognition such as that, following the massacre of October 7, will grant a major prize to terror.
He was referring to last year's terrorist incursion in which Hamas militants killed around 1,200 people and took about 240 people hostage. The Israeli cabinet's vote came a day after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Israeli President Isaac Herzog on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference. While a strong supporter of the Jewish state, the United States has also been a longtime proponent of a two-state solution to permanently end the conflict in the Middle East.
We're thinking of the suffering of people caught up in the middle of conflict, including the Palestinian men, women, and children in Gaza. We're thinking as well of the genuine opportunities that lie before us for a better, more secure future for Israelis, Palestinians, and all of our friends in the region.
On the ground, Palestinians were seen Sunday inspecting the damage caused by an Israeli strike in Rafah, where the population is gearing up for an Israeli ground offensive. Already more than 28,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. United Nations health officials said Nasser Hospital, the second largest in Gaza, is now, quote, completely out of service. And residents of the Jabalia refugee camp in the northern Gaza Strip held protests on Saturday complaining about food and medical shortages.
Epidemics and diseases are spreading among our people in North Gaza, where there are no medicines. If they are available, a citizen cannot afford to buy them.
Condemnation of the Israeli offensive was loud over the weekend at an African Union summit in Addis Ababa. Algeria is expected to present a plan to the United Nations Security Council this coming week, calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. The United States has already expressed opposition to the draft resolution, arguing it favors an alternative it has been working on with its partners that would include at least a 6-week pause to the hostilities and the release of more hostages. Veronica Valderas Iglesias, VOA News.
Now, in the world of sports, regulars Sharon Chipchumba and Veronica Adhiambo will not be selected for the Malkia Strikers squad that will compete in the African Games in Accra, Ghana from March 8 to 23rd, missing the national women's volleyball team assignment for the second time. The Kenya Volleyball Federation has not, however, revealed more about their unavailability. Head coach Japhet Munala will rely on Mercy Minza, who made her debut with the national team in Egypt, and Lois Simiyu for the slot in the 18th personnel provision squad. Enoch Mogeni and Abud Chirchir, the opposing attackers for Wafalme Stars, have rejoined the national men's team after missing the Egypt assignment. Malkia Strikers and Wafalme Stars are expected to begin their non-residential training camp on Wednesday at Kasarani Indoor Arena. All right, that story brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for watching Money Monday. Be sure to stay tuned for subsequent bulletins in the coming week. My name is Ann Odida. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Samuel Kello. Have a good night. Do enjoy the rest of your week and see you next week, inshallah.